Welcome back to the garage. It is a beautiful day, beautiful evening. I'm off work, so I am ready to just push through and finish this thing. I've got the front eccentrics freed up on both sides. The rear ones are a whole nother story. But I am ready to get some bearings and races done and start putting this thing back together. So let's jump into some of these things. Well, we're out here doing bearings and races. This one is original, the old Timken 18520. And now that I get this thing in the light out of the hub, this thing is toast. I was actually thinking about reusing these and just rocking them for a while until the wheels fell off. Yeah. Not much left of that one. Got the first two races out. I'm just using a steel punch, which isn't the best tool for this. I really wish I had like a brass drift, but I don't, so I'll be very, very careful installing the new ones. Can't believe I was thinking about reusing these. Once you get them out into the light, good lord, these are pretty toast. Yeah, some of the guys out there who were talking to me on Facebook about this, they're probably right. I could throw these back in, get a whole bunch of grease, and they'd be loud, but they'd work for a while. But I've got the hubs off. Why not just do it while I'm here? There's a lot of talk on bearings these days. Everyone wants to use the original Timkens, though others say the quality has gone down because they manufacture some of them in China now. I just went with whatever the supplier had. One of the main go-tos for me is just Kaiser Willys, and they stock NSKs, which are Japanese made, and the Japanese are, pretty well known for their quality. It just feels odd to be putting something Japanese made into a post-war Willys Jeep. But it's the close enough, correct enough part. And besides, I'm also a Honda guy in addition to being a Jeep guy, so this doesn't bother me too terribly much. Apparently these are supposed to be pressed in, but I'm gonna sure try to just tap these in gently. Try not to screw up the bearing surface. Like that almost did. Got both races in, and wow, the difference is amazing. New parts versus old. It's always nice to see that comparison. So all of you who have done this before know what's next. Gotta pack the bearing full of grease. Actually, now I gotta clean this thing because you want to make sure there's no debris on it or anything. There's some light machine oil on here to, make it not rust, but I want to give this thing the best chance it can get. Get yourself probably a golf ball sized dollop of this and start working it in there. I know that there's a tool out there you can get at your local automotive big box store, your Amazons, your Napas, your anywhere. But I tend to just do things the hardest way possible or the most manual way possible. And I think that's in keeping with the spirit of this build, so We've got a good amount of grease packed all over this. I'm gonna borrow some of that and put just a thin coating on the surface of this cup here. I'm also going to go ahead and take a little bit off this inner surface. You guys are going to miss this, but I'm going to go put some of this on the axle on that inside surface where this one's going to end up. I'd already cleaned that surface pretty well off camera. Now we're ready for that grease seal. Now I've been burned by this before, but I'm going to carefully tap this in. Well, I took the gloves off, but we'll put just a little on that inside surface for when it goes over that axle. Alright, most of you guys know this, but for those of you who don't, that's the outside, that's the inside. Don't get that backwards or it won't seal. I'll take this wood block and give it a good solid smack to set it. Hopefully set it. There we go. Wow, I should have just put the drum here the whole time. You want that just at the edge. You don't want to push that all the way in. The last guy who put oil seals on this, or grease seals on this, had to press this guy all the way up against the bearing. That's not correct. Alright, gloved up. I'm really burning through these gloves at an alarming rate, but the truth of the matter is I'm out of that Gojo orange hand cleaner stuff, and it's just easier to not clean up grease than to have to clean up grease. Light coating on the surface of that race again. Alright, I'm making a pretty good mess again, but I need to cram a bunch of extra grease in there. Alright, they say you put just enough grease in here to fill this little inner groove. Yep, that's pretty dang well full. I think we're ready to install. Look at this mess I've created. It's kind of funny looking back at the past and knowing you ordered parts for another project. For instance, that Bantam trailer. I'd forgotten to get gaskets, but lo and behold, I have a couple of gaskets. I guess we ordered extra for the Bantam because I know I put gaskets on it. Then I look in the rest of the box, and what else do we have? More of these. I know that we messed up that one. I was actually just talking about how I've been burned in the past. Here's the one we accidentally hammered and bent out of shape that I was later able to put to the correct shape. So it's basically good to go. Then I look at what else I've got in here, and I had two of those. This is the style I should have bought, I think. They're Omix 80As, but these are a really, really beefy seal. I've got one of these on the Bantam and one of those on the Bantam, and I really want to take the other hub off, take the green one off, and put this one on the Bantam. Maybe someday. Alright. Come on. Dang it, that front bearing did fall out. Shop towel is not the best thing if you want perfectly clean surfaces, especially because they're brand new, but it is what it is. Alright, we got ourselves the brand new washer set. Flat washer first. And then we got our first nut. What do you know? I actually have the right tool. Alright, ye old torque wrench. Alright, so we get this first nut in here. And we're just going to torque it down to 50 foot-pounds. There we go. Now with the 50 foot-pounds of pressure, it spins, but not too freely. So we got the preload set. It's a 6-sided nut. We're going to loosen that 1/6. Now it spins way more freely. Now we got this flat washer with a little tab on it. I don't think it particularly matters if that tab goes in or out. It's just it looks like a stamped sheet metal washer. I'll do a tab out, but it fits in this little groove here that you can't see from up there, but I promise you it's there. And now we got the outer nut. Trying to go with the old school one, but this one ratchets. Alright, here we go. Now we're ready to put that old hub back on. Let's reinstall our locking hubs from all that time ago. I'm going to reuse that gasket. We need our little flat washer, our castellated nut, got our pin, get them lined up and that on. Now I don't remember if I talked about this in another video, but someone got a little bit spicy with this hub. At some point in this thing's life, and it's cracked. So it doesn't seat just right. So I gotta be careful and creative getting this back on. Well, the GoPro died and I had to go recharge it, but it's mostly completed. I have one wheel on, yay. But the end of this hub, actually, stop right there, Hagee, you can actually see it. It's cracked. Like I mentioned, hopefully earlier in the video, in the past someone got kind of spicy with this locking hub, and I mean you can see how one side is bent up. That's not because it's just sitting wrong. That's because it's bent, it's cracked, it's broken. And it's going to be a chore to get this to sit back level. I was trying to go, side to side, cross pattern to kind of get it down evenly, but half of them won't even thread, so that's a challenge for another day. Another day with some fresh brain power. Hubs on, mostly sealed. Close enough. Another day. Other side. Done. That side spins better than this side. Don't know why. Time to tackle the back. Alright, getting closer. I've got thunderstorms coming here. So I need to hurry up and be able to close up the garage. Tapered end down and in. There. Well, that shot in there a little easier than I thought. Well, gang, we're starting to hit the archaeology part of this project. This is one of the first things I did so long ago, trying to find where's that flat washer and where's that castle nut. And the storm's getting closer. Here comes the rain. Alright, can't tighten that nut unless this hub is stationary. That's not possible, so we'll make it possible. Alright, one new, less broken cotter pin. Well, it's not that pretty, but it should work. My level of amusement right now. So, I'm learning. And in my defense, when I worked on this corner last, it was really early days when I was just starting to figure out the importance of things. But I wish I'd remembered that this was an issue. Here's some light so you can see what I'm talking about. You know, that's normal. Where's this one? It's a little bit on the snapped off side. Yeah. I need to replace that. I need to make that right. So that means taking this back and play it apart again. I'm gonna level with you guys. I'm getting sick of brakes. Real sick. Well guys, I got luckier than the last guy and I somehow managed to break this loose. Now this is post wire wheeling it just to kind of clean it up and see where I'm at, but man, they snapped that adjuster clear off. So I get to go order another eccentric. Alright, let's go over the better. While I'm waiting for parts, here is what I think is the final to-do list to figure this thing out and get it actually drivable. I gotta get that right rear hub and drum back on the Jeep. Soft lines and hard lines are done. I've just finished the last of the soft line and crushed washers. I had to go back and do those. I gotta replace those messed up eccentrics on the rear. There's one on the right side and there's just two on the left that they were stuck. What do we do? I need to bench bleed the master cylinder and install it and get that done quick-ish. Bleed the dang brakes because there's some stuff in the system that I'm not really liking. I need to do a final brake adjustment. It's the major adjustment in the manual. Headlights, taillights, and all associated wiring and turn signals with that. I'm pretty sure that some of the stuff attached to that headlight switch is what's causing that vampiric drain that keeps killing the battery. Steering box? I may wait on that. I need to flush the transfer case. I need to look at that T90 transmission in there and really assess it. I might have to soak it in some Marvel Mystery Oil or ATF just to clean it all up. I don't know yet. Differentials, they've been sitting for at least 30 years, so I'm sure that they need to be drained and refilled. The starter is kind of meh, but it works well enough, so it's just on there, but whatever. Horn, meh. Wipers, I've still got the original vacuum wiper in there. I may actually put that back on, but I've got the electric one. Works. I'll figure it out. I need to put that ignition in with the new key. Speedometer. The old one, literally old and busted. The indicator here is pointing straight up. But after 81,637 miles, I think it had a good run. New one right here, brand new, 0 miles and 4/10. I guess they tested it. I actually do have a complete gauge set because that night I ordered them. I was dreadfully tired, so I just got the whole gauge set even though I really didn't need it. But I wanted to get a gas gauge working. I'm pretty sure what's on there is a 6-volt one that got fried when someone put 12 volts to it. I need to track down a fuel leak. I'm pretty sure I've got just an old hose on there that's just not doing real well. So I need to just swap out all those hoses. I need to do an oil change. After all this time, I still haven't done an oil change. The oil that was in it was okay. I mean, it has some Marvel mystery oil on top of the cylinders that leak down into it. And it's been running and kind of reconditioning the rings. But it's time to change that. It smells old. It looks okay, but it's old. Just get it done. Oil filter with that. And I need to do the oil lines. They work, but they seep a little bit. Points and condenser. What's on there works. Did the old emery cloth, cleaned them up, they work, but I've got replacements. Might as well do them. Plugs and wires, that's already done. I have an exhaust manifold, because the one that's on there has a big old hole in the side of it. Yay, rust. I need to do the distributor cap and the rotor. I've got them, they're in that box. Just need to do it. Shocks, what's on there is kind of toasty. I have to get it out on the road to see just how bad they are, but one's bent. They don't really look like they move very well, so it's time. Air cleaner. I pulled the air cleaner off a while ago. It's still sitting over there. Need to clean it up, put some fresh oil in it, and put it back on. Or just get a little dinky one to put right on top of the car. I don't know yet. I want to put a little hood rain channel thing on there. I don't think it's factory. It was on sale, and it's just kind of a nifty idea. Put that in front of the hinge, and any water that gets under the hood just goes right off to the side and not on top of the engine. As far as priorities, I kind of just put all this on here as I thought of it. Speaking of thinking, while I'm remembering it, I need to do a final e-brake adjustment. I think one of the reasons I'm having so many problems with it is that the cable actually has a little thing that it attaches to on the bell housing. There's too much slack on it as it is right now, and if I take away that slack, the handle will work just the way it's supposed to. But that's it. This is the list, roadkill style. So unfortunately, because this video is starting to get a little bit longer than I'd like, I think that's it for now. Again, those brake eccentrics should show up tomorrow. Well, should, if you've been following the news. There's a bridge that's between Arkansas and Tennessee in Memphis, and one of the girders just went, and that's no bueno. This is why you invest in infrastructure. So it might get delayed, I don't know. But once those come in, I'll be able to do quite a bit more of this. And unfortunately, hopefully in the next video, it will probably be the end of the brakes. I'll finally be done, I hope. So that's it for this one. If you're liking the videos, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, share it with anyone you might think is interested. When you're at a small scale like I am, it does have a surprising effect. Just those few likes and shares, I can actually see in the analytics where things work differently. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.